Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Wait, why couldn't you guys hear that? Oh, wait. Why is it all the way down? Here, happy Sunday. There we go. There you go. I don't know why I couldn't hear that at first. I don't recall turning the audio output all the way. Oh, no, I did at the end of the last stream, so that way the BGMs wouldn't collide. Okay, I got it. Welcome everybody. Today we're doing our Succession Season 2 Episode 5 and 6 recap. That was the wrong clap. I want to do this one. Classier clapping for classier people. I hope you guys are having a lovely day so far. I hope you had a lovely, I guess, little break in between. What did you do? I ate lunch, so I'm kind of sluggish right now. I had a whole pot of macaroni and cheese, like, you know, like the whole box of it, and yeah, I ate the whole thing. And then after, I had some cheese and crackers, because I was like, oh man, I still have my brie cheese out. Should probably get to eating that. So I had a couple, but not too much, because I was pretty full from the mac and cheese. Still, mac and cheese, it's kind of filling. I laid down and I almost took a nap, like 20 minutes ago. Hello, welcome everybody. If you'd like to make yourself present for today's stream, let me see some money bags in the chat. Let me see some money bags. Put a money bag in the chat if you like a hello from yours truly. I keep saying that I want to do my intro during each stream, but I never remember to do that. So we'll start now. Full-time demon in training. Part-time VTuber. I'm Lucid Multimedia, sweetest double. Mamana Boomi DESU. It's nice to meet you. No, I need a shorter one for when I start. Maybe I should just say Konbumi or Ohabumi. I don't know, but that's too much changing. I need one for just one. I'll think of one eventually. For now, let's keep it on focus. Today we're talking Succession. My favorite show with my favorite boomers. Thank you guys for sticking around for our watch through, which actually, that reminds me, I gotta post in the Discord in the movie chat that we will be doing the watch along in just shortly. Okay, so let me do that real quick first. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. Hey, maybe if you have something that you want to talk about the show, tell me right now in the chat and we'll talk about it. Let's see. Let's see, 5 and 6, and then let's put this there, and then I gotta go over to the oh gosh, Discord timestamp. Get the timestamp. Sorry, I gotta edit my message templates. And then that one's for 6 p.m. here, and this one goes here, and then this one goes, y'all. Starting now. Okay, cool. And then I copy this, and then I paste it. I always forget about this part. I don't know why. I've been trying to be good at remembering it, but okay, boomers. And then let me put the thumbnail in here, and all systems are a go. There you go. We have the ping ready. Cool beans. All right, now we're set. New intro is me as Boomi. Let's begin. Yeah, maybe that could be it. Me, Boomi. Unga. Anyways, yeah. Before I get too distracted, let's go ahead and hide that. And bring out our presentation as per usual. I didn't like point out any favorite moments in this show quite yet. Wait, let me look at my notes. Do I have anything in my notes? Okay, no, I have something for like future episodes. Literally after every week, I go ahead and I look at like my future like favorite moments that are coming up, and I think I write down like notes for future episodes, but I don't write down things as we watch them, so I should probably do that more. Because usually it just kind of ends up, look, I even forgot to change this. It usually ends up that like, I don't know, I'm kind of sitting here, I'm like, you know, I've seen this show so often, and I don't know, I don't have anything to say. That's how I often find myself, yeah, starting the stream. Doing this one. Last week I did like a lot of prep for it, but this week, I don't know, I just thought like we could focus on the characters, because we haven't really done like a character check-in since the very beginning. But first, let's go ahead and refresh our memory. Yeah, we watched episode 5 of season 2, pretty much the halfway point, Turn Haven. Logan attempts to solidify his buyout of PGM at a weekend retreat at the Pierce family home, where Shiv, Roman, and Connor veer from their carefully orchestrated roles. As the Pierces question whether an alliance with Waystar Royco will tarnish their legacy, Kendall makes his case to Naomi Pierce during a drug-filled night. Yes, so we do see Mr. Kendall Roy and Miss Naomi Pierce spark a budding friendship, question mark. I mean, I don't know, they did kind of make out in the helicopter, so maybe it's more of a relationship, question mark. Two of the problem children of their respective families casually hooking up, and kind of Kendall came in with the dub because he was able to convince Naomi that he thinks that the deal is a good idea. So they were all gonna go forward with the deal, but we learn that in the next episode, things did not go as planned. So in the next episode, they went to our Argestes? Was that how they said it? Argestes? They went to Argestes, which is kind of like, I guess, like a wealthy people conference. I don't know. As Logan looks to finalize a deal to buy the Pierce family's papers and TV stations at a media and banking retreat, that's what it is. Same thing. Same thing. Rich people conference, media and banking retreat. A threat to the deal arises from an unexpected quarter. Tom worries about ATN's new slogan after learning some distressing news from Greg. We here for you. We're listening. No, we're actually listening. We're actually listening. But it's for targeted advertising, so that makes it okay. We here for you. I don't know what I would think if I saw We Here For You in person. I think I'd be like, is that a typo? I wouldn't approve that if I was on the marketing team. Kendall, Shiv, and Roman fail to see eye to eye on how to handle damage control ahead of a panel featuring the Roys. Yes, so the thing that came crashing down and threatening the deal is the Bright Star Cruise scandals. If you remember in season 1, when Mr. Thomas Wamsgams was promoted to what was it? He got promoted to global at ATN. The guy who had the job before was like, okay, by the way, I have like the death pit, and here it is. And he, you know, Tom was being nosy and he wanted to find out. And yeah, we learned that there was a lot of sexual abuse and bribery, and I think like violence and possibly even murder happening on the Bright Star cruises that was all covered up with hush money. And Tom made Greg go destroy all the evidence, and you know, we thought that it was clean off of our hands, but as we can see, that is not the case. Shiv did tell Gil Evis about it. You know, Tom wanted to come out into the public about it. I mean, I wonder if that happened. Like, would he have been saved? I don't know. We did learn that one of the, I think they said it was the Atlantic. Was that it? I don't know. One of the newspapers dropped an article about the cruise scandals, and now all of that is out in the open. So yeah, Waystar Royco is kind of scrambling for a response right now. The kids couldn't decide on how they wanted to handle it. They had the opportunity during their panel at this banking retreat to talk about it, and as you can see, I think they did butt heads, right? Like, some of them were like, oh, you know, we're not going to condone and move past it, even though that was what the official company stance wanted to take. Yeah, each kid kind of sees it as like their opportunity to prove dad that they can handle it. I don't know, like a test of maturity, perhaps. One of the things that I found frustrating in this episode was Shiv being like, no, I don't want my name attached to this at all. But then when she talks to Reiya Jarrell, the CEO for PGM, the Pierce News like company, we find Reiya was like, oh yeah, you know, the family really wants you to take hold of this. And then, you know, the very last, with like literally less than 10 minutes to spare, Shiv, after being like, no, I want nothing to do with this, it's like, actually put me back on, I want to be part of this. Yeah, before we talk too much about the characters, I do want to touch a little bit more on let's see, some comments from the Reddit thread. I didn't pull out anything beforehand. I just thought, hey, let's just take a look. Take a quick look, shall we? See? Let's take a quick look, see? Let's start with Turnhaven. Oh. Camera. There we go. There we go. Wait, can you see it okay? Should I zoom in a little bit? Oh wait, yeah, I should zoom in. I'm gonna like hide that part. Okay, whatever. It doesn't seem like we have anything on the spoilers on the side. Okay, let's see what people are chatting about. The first upvoted comment is Tom Wamscam's quote, "King of edible leaves, His Majesty the spinach." Oh yeah, because in Turnhaven, right? Remember they had that whole tense dinner scene. Oh god, oh my god, dude, that was so cringe. When let's see. Let me pull it up. Actually, wait, I can't because I have ads on my account. I have to do an embedded video if I want to skip the ads. Okay, so you know when they were sitting there at the dinner table, right? And Nan Pierce was telling everybody, she's like, well, you know, maybe we'll consider this deal, you know, but we want you to name an heir. Like, do you think you could tell me? Like, certainly, Mr. Logan, where you have somebody who you think might you want to take the reins, perhaps. Logan's like being coy about it. He's like, oh, you know, we have Jerry on there, but it's just for the papers and stuff. Like, he's not really gonna take it over. And Shiv is sitting there, tense, and oh gosh, maybe I should pull up the video. Because I love the camera work. No, I don't want to sit through an ad. I love the camera work. If you go back and watch that episode and that scene specifically, you can kind of... The camera lingers at Shiv for a moment. That kind of helps build up that, like, tension. Because you could kind of see her, the gears in her head turning, where she's, like, on the verge of blurting it out. I mean, and we do find out that she does blurt it out to everybody. Oh, Dad, tell them it's just gonna be me. Dude, the first time I saw that, I was gagged. I was like, shut the fuck up. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I've only been around Logan Ray for a season. One season. And I know damn well never to do that. Never play a card for him. But why would she do that? That was so stupid. That was so stupid of her. I was gagged the very first time that I saw that. I was thinking, Shiv, you are a fucking dumbass. You grew up with this man and you thought that would be a good move. But we do later see her and Tom, when they talk about it, he's like, dude, what the fuck was that? Like, why did you do that? Why did you say that? And she says, I don't know. Something overcame me. which honestly, probably not a quality that you would want to have, or that somebody like Logan would want to have as a CEO in his heir. But then again, it's not like Logan is very good at keeping his own temper in check. He does seem quite impulsive himself, but at least he could keep it in during a business meeting. That whole Turnhaven episode was just bomb after bomb for the Roys. Like every single time that they tried to communicate with the Pierces just kind of, I wouldn't say like outclassed them every time, but you know, it just wasn't. Another moment that I want to bring up that I don't know if these comments will mention, but we do see like the difference between how the Roys treat their helpers and how the Pierces treat their helpers. But even then, the Pierces, sorry, fucking sirens, dude. Okay, I think it's fast. Wait, I'm gonna search it, but I don't want to like spoil here. Let me just pull this up in a separate Reddit section. There's like a scene in the beginning, right, where they're all having cocktails, and then Nan Pierce, she tells the helper Rosa, she's like, hey, how about you come join us for a cocktail? Rosa's like, oh no, I can't, I mustn't and stuff, but she's like, oh yeah, I'll stop by for dinner though. We do see Rosa in the dinner scene, but she's not invited to the dinner. Actually, we see let's see, Nan Pierce. We see Nan take the food out. Okay, here we go. Open this one. I'm sure I'm pretty late to this, but I only just realized that everyone is applauding Nan Pierce in season 2 episode 5 as she served the main entree. They fade the focus back to the chef. The chef, I think that's Rosa. I think she was the one who was helping out with the drinks. But yeah, we get to see like the Pierces, like sure, they seem nicer, but they're just as performative as everybody else, right? Yeah, she takes the entree and she serves it and everybody applauds Nan. Meanwhile, Rosa, she can't even join them for dinner. She didn't join them for the drink. She's not getting any credit for the dinner. Yeah. Oh yeah, wait, and then she also had to clean up when Kendall, he pooped the bed the next morning. Rosa also looked back at him as they were leaving. She had to clean that up too. I think it's very fun to pay attention to like just how people outside of the social circle is treated. Like we saw in Bora and the Floor, they were just like quietly hushed out of the room while, you know, the corporate meeting was taking an inappropriate turn. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun. That was one thing that I wanted to point out as well. Oh yeah, we did get another Roman Jerry moment, which was oof. Every time that we see them on screen together, it's kind of like, yikes. Okay, I'm gonna stop scrolling because I don't want to get like spoilers for you guys. Let's check here. Then let me look here. Okay, we're good. We just got some polls. Okay, so for the 6th episode, where the whole crew scandal breaks and that makes the deal fall apart between the Pierces, Nan Pierce is like, yeah, I don't know, this is not a good idea. This is like a sinking ship. I think she was kind of on board until that comedy show near the end of the episode where like I think it was like an opener for a dinner or whatever, and that comedian was making fun of whichever quote-unquote mysterious company was going to make a deal with the, you know, Waystar Royco. I think people knew a deal was happening, but they didn't know it was going to be the Pierces. They didn't know it was going to be PGM. And like that was already going to be very controversial. And to add like this whole scandal on top of that, yikes. So that whole thing blew up. And then not only that, it was quite evident that Reiya Jarrell was like really interested in making sure that this deal happened. Reminder, she is the CEO of the Pierce family's media company. And she's like, you know, well, my goal is just like to help the shareholders and stuff. And of course, like I think she'll get a pretty penny from that sale too. But yeah, she was kind of playing in favor of the Roys. And yeah, Nan Pierce wasn't having that. She's like, okay, you swindled me, bitch, you're fired, get out of here, get out of my face, I don't want to see either of you guys again. So yeah, that's how our Jestys ended. Logan Roy was not happy. He was huffing and puffing and chasing after the car at his old age post-stroke. Like, okay, all right, old man, I see you. Oh yeah, how could I possibly forget? I was shocked to see Logan hitting Roman. Kendall's reaction makes me think it happened often when they were kids. Yeah, because Shiv called out her dad for being a dinosaur during their panel discussion, right? And I think she did kind of have a knife save. She was like, no, I don't mean like... Because she's like, oh, we have to get rid of the dinosaurs. And they're like, oh, so you mean like get rid of all the old people in the company? And then like all the younger generation steps up. And she kind of clarifies. She's like, no, I mean like dinosaur mentality. Duh. Right? And, you know, they're kind of like post-discussing it. Logan's upset. Roman's kind of like making fun of it. He's, you know, running his smart little mouth and then gets swatted by his dad. And then Kendall runs in. Hey, don't hit him. Don't touch him, right? And like, stop it, right? Another nice little peek into their childhood. How tumultuous it must have been. And that's what I like about this show. They don't really do like flashbacks or anything, but you can see how these dynamics and like this trauma like carries over into the present day, and like that's how you learn about each character. I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to like break apart. I feel like on my first watch through, not like you wouldn't notice, but it's just kind of like, I don't think I would have thought so deeply about it. I would have been like, wow, that was a dick move. But, you know, Kendall coming in to the rescue, I don't think I would have put two and two together, as as silly as that sounds. Let's see. Oh yeah, Logan hitting Roman is what snapped Kendall out of his observant zombie mode for the first time this season. That is another interesting point. Usually we just kind of see Kendall being like nodding and like obeying dad's command, but this time around he was like, no, like he talked back to his dad. He said, stop that, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Protective older brother, pretty cool. Let's see, Roman playing off Logan's hits so coolly made me realize how broken he really is because he plays everything off that way. Yeah. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think that's a pretty good stuff for comments. Anyone catch Tom's horrified reaction to Logan hitting Roman? Also, just 30 seconds earlier, Shiv had told him seeing him with the other girl had made her want to slap her in the face. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's like another point. Not just Roman getting hit. Oh yeah, the whole bathroom part. Wait, did they talk about it in here? Is there any comments about it this one? Oh, for fuck's sake, just tell them it's gonna be me, record scratch. Narrator, it wasn't. I feel like I think Succession would make for a really good Arrested Development crossover. Or even just like a re-edit. Okay, anyways, that's enough of this one. Let's go ahead and go back to the PowerPoint. I thought it would be fun if we were to compare our first impressions of these characters to our current impressions of these characters, because we are halfway through. Let me erase that text. I realize it's not correct. We're halfway through season 2, and there are only 4 seasons of this show. So by the end of next weekend, we'll be halfway through the series in general. What better time to take a temperature check than now? I mean, probably at the end of season 2 will also be another opportune time, but hey. I think we're a bit overdue. Anyways. Our first impression, this feels like going down memory lane. Our first impression of Logan Roy was that he had a great beard. He's a boomer personified. A dickhead, but that's kind of cool. And we had 2 upvotes where he probably should retire, to be honest. How about now? How about now? Do we have any let me hide that. Oops. Do we have any character impressions for Mr. Logan Ray right now? And while we answer that, I'm gonna go ahead and let me crop this a little bit. I'll crop it. Oops, it's the wrong thing. I always open up browser source instead of window. Wait, I'm trying to find a browser. Okay, window capture. Let me just switch this around real quick. Whoa, that's big. It's really big. Big thing. How do I make this, oh, there we go. Let's see, if I had to give my current impressions for him, I mean, the first time I gave first impression seems cool and like needs to retire. That's like what? That's after the first 2 episodes? He was still pretty bedridden at that time. Okay, let me just move this back here. Alright, cool. Let's see, if I had to give my impressions for him so far, definitely like violent and mean and grumpy. I think there's a word for that. Codger, right? Like a grumpy old codger. I think he is like... He is a codger. He... That's exactly what he is. Let's see. Another thing... I mean, they all revere him as like this titan of the industry, like this no-nonsense businessman. But I don't know. I mean, not to say that he isn't, but I would be very interested in seeing like that play out. No, not play out, but like see how he is in his prime, you know? Maybe I would say he is past his prime. Past his prime, question mark? I can't imagine a world where his business tactics work. Like, I'm thinking back to in the first season when Kendall was on the phone with like the bank guys who were like trying to collect the $3 billion for their company, and Kendall's like, oh well, fuck off, right? And the guy, it was like what, like a minute of just complete silence. And we see all the characters giving each other's looks, and then we just pan to the empty silence on the other side of the phone call. I imagine that Kendall did that because he's trying to be like his dad, that his dad can just tell people to fuck off over the phone. And I don't know, maybe he is met with silence, but maybe they cave in at the end. I don't know. It's just, to me, I just can't imagine like a world where doing that kind of business works. I've never been in that kind of like hostile business environment. Everywhere I've been has been, thankfully, incredibly professional. So to me, it's just kind of like, can it work that way? Is that possible? Can it work that way? I think he's past his prime, but he's clearly like, what is it? Wise? I don't know. Wise is the word either. I don't know. He gets what he wants. He knows how to get what he wants. Hot knows how to get what he wants, I would say. 3 points, 3 bullet points. That's enough, right? Alright. Let's go to our next character. Our first impression of Marcia was that she's a classy lady. She's sus. Or maybe she really loves her husband. I would say... I mean... I don't know. I feel like, to me, she seems like a nice stepmom. Seems like a nice stepmom. She is still kind of sus, though. I don't know. Like, I still don't really know, like, what's her motivation. What's her motivation? And then if you guys have any thoughts, feel free to chime in as well. Let's see. But a point where it made me think that, like, oh, she's a nice stepmom was, when she was there for like after Kendall's car crash. I mean, I don't know, there's been a couple of moments post car crash where she's just like, oh Kendall, like you've been through so much, like you should rest and like don't take any of this too harshly, like you're a good boy, you're a real good kid, right? And she'll be just like really tender and kind to him. She doesn't have to be like that. I don't think that she was, I think he married her like after all the kids were grown, I feel like. So it's not like she has any like motherly responsibility to these children. Yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, we haven't really seen too much of Marcia. She is still very much a classy lady though. I want to be her when I grow up. Classy lady. Go with her next one. Our next one is Willa and Connor. I like how weird age gap is bolded. It's true, it's true. Actually, did you know that the actor for Connor is, I think, in real life, I think him, Alan Ruck, and Brian Cox, who's the actor for Logan, I think they're only like 6-7 years apart or something like that. Which is crazy. It's crazy how Connor can feel so young. And I don't know like who's doing a better job. Like, is Alan Ruck doing like a good job at being young, or is Brian Cox doing a good job at being old? They at least feel like 20 years apart. But anyways, yeah, weird age gap. Connor seems like a good son, and Willa seems supportive, question mark. I mean, I think the age gap is still weird, but I don't know. It's like weird age gap. Weird age gap. And I think it's like very clear that Willa doesn't want to be there. But at the same time, I do think that they kind of make a good team. You know, like with Mo's funeral. Oh my god, how could I forget about Mo? It wasn't this week or last week's episode, but the week before that, they went to Mo's funeral. And wait, was that the week before? I think so. Yeah. That was the week before. They went to Mo's funeral, and in this, you know, we also heard that Mo was the guy who spoke to the biographer before he passed away, and I believe that we also learn that, you know, he was a bit of an unsavory character, let's say, who most likely had some run-ins with the Bright Star Cruise scandals, that he is tied into that web of a death pit. So that'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah, I think they had let's see. So who knows, where are we with the Bright Star Cruise scandal? We make a new page. I'm gonna make a new page. Let's make a new page before we go on to the rest of the characters. Add a page. Oops. Wait. Delete. And duplicate the page. There we go. And then let's do cruise scandal. Okay, so we know that let's see. So Mo, sorry, Lester. His name's not Mo. Mo Lester is involved. He's unsavory character. We know that. Let's see. Wait. Okay. Tom found out and had Greg delete the evidence. We also know that Greg made copy of some of the evidence while he was shredding it. We also know that Greg revealed to Kendall actually that he's privy to the crew scandals. He revealed the Kendall at the end of season 1, where he was like, well, you know, I know some things and I think you would be wise to keep me in a good position. And then that's when Kendall was like, okay, all right, I see you, Greg. I see you, Gregory. All right, you're blackmailing me. All right, I got you. We also see Greg try that same thing to Tom. Tom, that he made copies of the documents because he told Tom, he's like, hey, I don't want to work for ATN anymore, and like I don't want to work for you anymore, and like, you know, it's kind of like cramping my style. I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to blossom, I'm trying to grow, so let me go somewhere else or else I'm gonna use this blackmail against you. Tom's like, oh, all right, okay, well, how about this? You got a promotion, you got a raise, and you're staying under me, and we're gonna shred those documents together. Where are those documents, buddy? And that's kind of what they're doing now. Let's see. Mo is involved. We also know that Mo talked to the biographer before he died. We also know that Tom told Shiv about the scandal, so Shiv could use it against her dad to get them to chill off of Gil Evis, if you remember that. Because Gil, that's the guy that she was working for, the Mr. Bernie Sanders lookalike. And she invited him to go talk onto like her family network, ATN, but of course they're like polar opposites politically, so they're really, really harsh on him, saying like, oh yeah, you know, you drove your wife to suicide and all of that, and he's like, oh my god, like stop bringing that up. So Shiv used Tom's info to tell her dad or tell ATN to like, yo, chill out or else Gil is gonna use this against you guys. Well, I think I might be misremembering, but I think he's aware, and I think the government has been made aware. I wonder, what did that article say? I don't know, but I think they'll refresh our memory during the what do you call it? Recap. The pre-episode recap. Let's see. Yeah, that's where we are with the cruise scandal. It's been slowly but surely bubbling up to the surface. We've been having this kind of simmering in the background for like the last season, I think, because this was kind of like one of the bigger things for last season. Yeah, exciting. Alright, okay, so here we go. Continuing on with the characters, we're now here with the major players, the siblings. First impressions of Kendall Roy was that he's the people's princess. Does he want daddy's love, or does he love does he want daddy's love, or does he want daddy's approval? Actually, I think that's the same thing. Oh no, this lover's approval? I don't know. Anyway. And then we also wrote down that he says the risk out loud. I think that he's a very, very different character this season. And one of my favorite things is basically, like, a lot of the time my dad told me to do it. I saw their plan and dad's was better, right? I mean, it's not like he really has much of a choice. His dad has him cussed by the balls, but he is a very, very, very broken man right now. I think it's incredible how far he's fallen from the first season. Like, he was so cocky and stuff, and like, he was such a boss, and then now this one, he's just like, I don't know, you look at him, you just can't help but feel bad. And like in the last episode, he literally shit the bed, dude. Literally shit the bed. That's so embarrassing. He's pathetic, honestly, just really pathetic, I think. And that being said, I don't know, I could see, I'm thinking of like how Logan has tried to bring each one of his kids under his wing. I don't think any of them do as well as Kendall does, though, like being dad's little lapdog, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like all the other kids would, like, I don't know, like Roman, he tries, but I don't think he behaves in a way that makes dad proud. Shiv also tries, but I don't think that I do think that Logan holds the fact that Shiv is a woman against her, and I don't know. I think Logan is hated by Logan, but is also Logan's. I don't know if golden is like the right word. Golden child. I don't know, because I don't think there is a golden child for Logan Roy, but I think like to a certain extent, maybe. I think he might be Logan's like I love to hate him and I hate to love him kind of child. Either way, I from the perspective of someone who's seen this show multiple times over and over, Kendall Roy probably one of the best TV characters of all time. If there is one character I can relate him to, he's BoJack Horseman. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, he is BoJack Horseman. He's the BoJack Horseman of this universe. Okay, anyways, continuing on, we have Roman Roy, who's, I don't know. He's had a very interesting development over the course of this season. Anyways, first impressions was that he's two wolves, the asshole and the really sentimental guy. We put that he's a tsundere, he masked his insecurities, also wants daddy's approval, or is he doing it to feed his own ego? I feel like that is a little bit more clear now. I think he's daddy's punching bag. It sounds... We're talking really like literal dad, not like, I don't know, daddy's punching bag sounds a little bit like spicy in a way that I don't intend it to be. I think he's daddy's punching bag. He's also like a freak perv. We've seen especially in these last 2 episodes that he can only get off if it's like really wrong, right? We saw him in the bed with his girlfriend Tabitha, and the whole reason that he's probably dating Tabitha anyways is because he knows that Tom hooked up with her. He wants to hook up with his sister's husband's hookup. Yet he can't do anything to her, and when he tries and he can't get into it because he's like, oh well, you know, you're not acting like a dead body, like, you know, you have to pretend that you're a dead body if like it has to work. And then she's like, what the fuck? And like, you know, the moment's fizzled out, it's ruined, and he calls up Jerry, where he goes over to her room, and he has Jerry lock him in the bathroom, degrade him a little bit, and you know, he admits to it in the morning, but the thing is, it's so outlandish and like such a Roman thing to say that everybody just brushes it off. But he really did jerk off in Jerry's bathroom. He's a little weasel. But I think that's what makes him really fun. I still do agree that he has like 2 wolves. Still 2 wolves. He does come across to me still as someone who really cares about his family, but he can only care about it in a way that's like wrapped in insincerity and like oozing with like, you know, nastiness. It's just like the same way that he chooses to make love. Like, it can't be right, you know, at all. He can't be sincere. He can't take anything seriously. And I think that like some of the glimpses that we've gotten at his childhood, him being abused by dad, and like him being like, you know, pitted against his brothers, or like bullied with like his siblings bullying him and locking him up in the cage or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster from the get-go. He's a walking liability and a total mess. Still though, he does seem competent. Liability. He does seem competent, because we do see in the last episode, Jerry is starting to coach him, so they're developing sort of like this weird mentor-mentee relationship. Jerry is coaching him, and she points out a, was it like oil money or something, like Saudi Arabians, I think, maybe. And she's like, oh yeah, your dad, like, if this whole Pierce deal falls through, maybe you could get some money from that super rich guy over there, and, you know, have a little bit of a parachute or like a net for your dad to fall back on, so that way we don't lose this proxy war. Because remember, the whole thing that's driving this whole PGM deal is the bear hug that Kendall set up with Sandy and Stewie back in season 1. That whole failed attempt of running his dad out the company after he got fired. Yeah, and Roman and Shiv are still super sus about Kendall. They're still like, okay, well, why is dad being so nice to you? They don't know anything about the car accident. They don't know that it's Kendall who's kind of being blackmailed by his father instead of the other way around. They're just like, dude, you try to kill dad at the vote of no confidence halfway through season 1, and then you try to kill him again at the end of season 1 with the bear hug. What's going on? Why is he being so nice to you? I think Roman was being iced out a little bit beforehand, but I don't think that's so much the case anymore. Let's see. Because before it was like Kendall was like the heir, and then Kendall kind of fell out of favor after like dad got killed, and then Roman was going to be the heir. But then secretly behind closed doors, Logan was like, I'm going to try and like groom Shiv into the family business. Siobhan Roy, she was the favorite up until last week's episode, Turnhaven, when she blurts out loud to the entire table, laying out Logan's cards right in front of everybody. Just tell them it's gonna be me, Dad. Just tell them you picked me to be the CEO. Excuse me, who do you think you are? The entire time, Shiv has not been shutting up. It should be so obvious when she should know when to shut up, but she doesn't because she's so full of herself. Yeah, she's really so full of herself. I don't know if I have shoots herself in the foot a lot. I don't know. You guys can always chime in with anything that you may have to. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me. I should do this really fast because we still have the stocks to go over too. Shoots herself in the foot. Talks too much. Yeah. I don't know. She's just like. I'm like okay with her when I'm watching this, but this watch through, like, I can't stand her, dude. Don't get me wrong, she looks amazing every time she's on screen, and I love to see her coming, but geez Louise, dude, I cannot stand her because it's just like, get your head in the game, Shiv. Get your head in the game. Girls, get it done, do we not? She's a cheater. Wait, let me read what we wrote here. Shiv, nickname? Coincidence? I think not. Boomi hated Tom at first, now likes him a lot. That's so true. I love Tom Mom Scams now. He's like contender for like #1 for me. Like, I don't really know. #1 is always shifting. But he's definitely like top 2 character for me. I'll have to give a definitive list once we're done. Let's see. We also put down that Tom wants money and power but needs to bypass Shiv. We do kind of see that because Tom did float himself softly to be like, hey Shiv, like maybe you can ask your dad that like I can be CEO. And Shiv's like, yeah, let's do that. But then she's like, oh, actually, I'm gonna be CEO instead. Like, okay, not just a cheater, but also like a bad wife. Like, there's so many times that she just brushes off his concerns and his problems just so she could talk about hers instead. She's very laissez-faire about their open relationship, and like we haven't really seen Tom, like, you know, actively trying to put himself out there in a situation where he can get, you know, coupled up for the night. Shiv, she does it willy-nilly, you know, and she doesn't even have the balls to like admit it to Tom. You can tell that like when it's time, when Tom's like, oh, so anything happened like while I was gone and stuff, and like you can see she's hurt because she doesn't want to admit it, and then he realizes, and then he's hurt and she doesn't want to admit that she hurt him like through these actions. She's like if she saves face I said I'm gonna be quick about it, but I have so much to talk about with Shiv. Oh my god. Yeah, you can tell that she's trying to save face when she knows that she's hurting her husband. But she, in her head, if she doesn't say anything, if she doesn't address the problem, if she sweeps it under the rug, then none of that hurt has to come to the surface. Even though both of them are acknowledging through their eyes that whatever they're doing right now is not working. I don't know. And I really hate that about her. She knows she's hurting her husband, but she's just continuing to do it on purpose. Because she doesn't want to admit that she's a bad person doing bad things. I don't know. Sounds like a wonderful friend. She's awesome. I love. Just kidding. I mean, but then again, everybody in this show sucks. Tom Womskam's first impression, he's still really pathetic. But that being said, I do think that he loves Shiv. I think he loves her because, I mean, he could take full advantage of being in an open relationship. I definitely think that he's been getting like new eyeballs, I guess, now that he has closer proximity to the inner circle of Waystar. Before he was like heading parks and whatever, I don't know, but he was in a lower position. Now he's like in the inner circle of the executives of this huge media business, right? That being said, he's not taking advantage. 12-second reminder, no worries. He's not taking advantage of you know, like their open relationship status. He's totally cool with like being monogamous. In fact, I can tell that he prefers that. Like, the only time that we see him like consider it was when his bachelor party, and then he considers it again after Shiv is like, oh, were you flirting with that girl? And he's like, oh no, but maybe I will, and stuff like that. And I think he's only into it because he wants to see his wife be possessive and like, you know, be jealous over him. And because I think it's kind of like him being reassured that his wife actually likes him. But most of the time he's just kind of brushed off. That being said, he's still like really gross though. Like the human furniture thing. One of his employees lost a bet, so he used him as a footstool for a whole, who knows how long, like an afternoon, a meeting. And then it's inferred possibly that that footstool human furniture guy was the kid who killed himself in the episode. Like, Tom, he's pathetic, but then he's also like, I don't know. It's funny. It's funny how you can have a character that's like so hateable and like, you know, they do things that are just really deplorable, you know? But he's like extremely sympathetic. Alright, and then let's go to Greg. Greg, first impressions for Greg seems innocent, but maybe also a piece of shit. And then a Tom in training. I mean, personally for me, I think that's pretty much the same. We've seen him be sneaky a couple of times. He tried to blackmail he tried to blackmail Tom. He told Kendall that he has info that might be useful to the family. He's always trying to make sure that he's in a position where he can work a better situation for himself. We see him go over to Logan too and ask him to be like, hey, can you move me out from Tom's wing? Like, I don't want to be an ATN anymore. That didn't really work out, so he goes to Tom directly, and that's when he brings up the blackmail. I don't know. I think Greg still seems like a good kid, learning the ropes, want to blackmail, but does. I don't know. He's just funny, dude. He's funny. This isn't a safe room. A small person can fit in there. An attack child. Greg's just a silly guy. Yeah. All right, here. Yeah, let's wrap this up. Okay, so our next episodes that we're about to watch in the next couple of minutes, we're going to be watching Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8, Return. A trip to the UK finds the Roy kids negotiating with their mother. We haven't seen... What was her name? I don't remember her name. Okay, well, yeah, we haven't seen her mom since Shiv's wedding, so that was like what, like the end of last season. And remember, she's like kind of a bitch and like really cold. We get to see a little bit more of her. Maybe we'll get to learn more about the Roys growing up. Let's see. Logan turns to Reiya for advice. If you don't remember, Reiya is freshly fired from PGM because she was in cahoots with Logan Roy to pass the sales deal of their media company. So yeah, I guess we'll see her be looped into the fold on the Roy side. After that, we have episode 8, Dundee. Logan reflects on his past and future upon returning to his hometown of Dundee, Scotland. Shiv conspires to... ... Oh no, the suspense. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a stock check real quick. Let's find out which characters are you buying, selling, skipping, and who do you think you will be Logan's successor? Here we go. Let's see. It's not gonna copy over both, so I'm gonna have to look at the colors real quick. Okay, so we have people investing in 2 folks are investing in Roman. Wait, if I get... Okay, no, never mind. I thought I could get a chart from a different view. Anyways, 2 people are investing in Roman. 1 person is investing in Tom. And 2 people are also investing in... Who's that light blue? Greg. Okay. All right. Interesting picks. I mean, yeah, I think Roman, his partnership with Jerry does seem to be a pretty good business move. Jerry has worked with Logan for the last 20-something years. She knows what Logan wants to see in a successor. She does have a good professional business sense. Maybe their relationship is a little bit less than professional, but still, it seems like they're making a good team so far. Selling! Well, we have 1 person selling Tom Womsgams, and we have 4 people selling Shiv Roy. After that abysmal performance last week, I do not blame you. Blurting out in front of the entire table the 1 secret your dad asked you to keep. Don't tell anybody that it's gonna be you, because we want to train you. And just blurting that out, catching even him blindsided? Bad move, Shiv. Awful. What possessed you to do that? I don't know. Anyways, I completely agree with that decision. Last but not least, skipping. We have 2 people skipping on Roman this week. 1 person skipping on Tom, 1 person skipping on Jerry, and 1 person skipping on Connor. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Roman, yeah, sure, he's doing good by partnering with Jerry, but at the same time, I don't know, debatable with who he is as a person. It's not a good look to have somebody like... Do you think Roman Roy is capable of filtering his opinions? I don't know. Alright, let's see who you guys pick to be Logan Roy's successor. Alright, 40% of you guys said Jerry, Gilf alert. 40% of you guys have picked Greg Hirsch. Nobody suspects the Dark Force. And then 20% has picked Connor Roy. Connor Roy was interested in politics from a very young age. I mean, who knows? Maybe Connor can have the craziest like resume, going from 0 jobs. Wait, no, wasn't he like oh dude, didn't he have like some kind of silly job? He's on the brink of getting like major investing for his Napoleonic podcast or something. Yeah, 20% of you guys said Connor. So maybe he would have like, he'll go from like he's starting a podcast to President of the United States to CEO of Waystar Royco. That could be really sick. I don't know. And then let's see, I asked you guys as well, any favorite moments any thoughts to share about the show for this week. Let's see, we have Window Gooner Lagoon to masochistic victory. Window Gunner fell off a bit the last 2 episodes. Maybe he'll come back. Window Gunner being a Roman Roy. The moment that he got COO, he gooned at the window, and yeah, and now he's gooning at Grandma Jerry. Those were mine. I had to think which one was the right order. Because now that I think about it, I don't think that I wiped from last week's. So let me go ahead. Maybe I can wipe those right now. Or actually, I don't know. Maybe I want to... whatever. Yeah, that's it. That's it for our presentation today. Right now, we're going into the Discord to do the next 2 episodes. And then next week, we're going to be doing our chat and recap for those last 2 episodes. We're going to watch 7 and 8 now. Next week, we're going to talk about 7 and 8. I have to change the time for this, actually. I realized I never did that. But yeah, next week at this time, we'll do episodes 7 and 8 to talk about it. And then, 1 whole week from now, we will be watching the Season 2 finale! Oh my gosh! The Season 2 finale is gonna be so good. You don't want to miss it. It's genuinely... It's insane. Okay, anyways. We can't get to the finale without getting to Finale's Eve. So, come on down. And join us in the Discord right now. If you've been sitting down for as long as I have, make sure you give your body a nice big stretch. Don't forget to stay hydrated, and last but not least, treat yourself to something special, such as a visit to your emotionally unavailable British aristocrat mother? Question mark. Alright, until next time guys, take care. Bye!